normally it will be done. Sometimes people handle the architect, they will do like a scope and they will cover it by
you start losing
by
space
some
because of
ID
the wall
material,
that's
yes.
I guess one of the questions, did we talk about this? I don't remember. The interior partition walls, are we going to go, did we talk about this, whether we're doing gypsum walls, or are we, which is much more flexible? Or,
yeah, I think we could do that.
Yeah. To that detail?
Well, I mean, it has implications, obviously, and I think you're also, well, obviously experiencing some of the issues in Sharjah as well, with regards to block workloads and how flexible they are. So I thought that was more of an indication as to the direction that we should be going. But
each project
and just being from the structural requirements as well. So it means that we don't go PT and we.
But if for purpose-built hospital, that's the building an existing building.
Yeah, but with the existing building having block walls, it reinforces the issues of inflexibility with that system.
I mean, if you want to put the medical gas inside, you need to chip a lot of walls.
Exactly.
If you want to put the medical gas on the wall and cover it with kind of tunnel or it's easy to be coordinated. Rather than chip here and then, no, the medical gas needs to be shifted a little bit. Depends on the bedhead unit also.
Yeah.
Some part of the bedhead unit, the medical gas will come from both sides.
Yeah.
If it's embedded, or the medical gas, the opening will be from the top on the wall.
I think it's
So all this needs to be.
I think it's always better if it's not within the wall, because you start to compromise the integrity of the wall for fire from acoustics. So have it beyond and then have it paneled so that it's accessible as well. Because having it integrated into the wall, you're breaking in the walls if you need to access it.
So you can build that into the interior design, how they're going to cover that.
You have an integrated wall system.
One hour down meeting.
All the tea and coffees in the meeting room. It's always tough.
Yeah.
So that's better to the real
Just something wet.
Okay. Last service in mechanical is the LPG gas, which is required for kitchen, and still we don't know if they need connection for lab or not. So we will coordinate with medical planner whether they need LPG in the lab area or not. But 100% they require for kitchen. LPG for lab, which bad. If you have dental lab, only normally they use the clinical laboratory. Yes. And sometimes they need it for something else, but normally they use only small. Yes. But for dental lab, they need protection. Yes. Because they manufacture everything. No, we don't have. Yes. Okay. Now we propose it mainly for kitchen. So already it's proposed for kitchen because the main demand is the kitchen. It will be located in the roof and it will be through riser. Will go to separate or dedicated shaft, go to the basement, continuous shaft. It should be placed on easier way. The problem with the LPG tank, you cannot locate it inside the building. You have only two options: to locate it in the roof, and by the way, in the roof, if your building is more than 90 meters, as per the new UE code, which is issued recently, it is not allowed. What is our height? Around 90 meters.
It's around 90.
90 meters.
90, yeah.
90 meters. So they normally they accept 92, 93. But as per UE code, more than 90 meter high, they don't allow you to put LPG tank unless you have exceptional. There is no like this. No. There is rationale behind it. No. An FBA, they allow you to put it wherever you want, subject to provide the space around the tank as per the requirement, which is 3 meter or 7.5 meter.
Which is what?
Sorry?
Which is what?
It depends on the capacity. The tank capacity is less than 2,000 liter, 3 meter you need space. If it is more, you need 7.5 meter. So the other option is to bury it underground in the landscape. And unfortunately, you don't have here landscape to bury it. So there is no option other than locate it in the road. So this 90 meter. Sorry? Yes. Normally, even here, before, we have one high-rise building of more than 200 and it is located in the room, but what they were asking, they are asking for risk assessment study. Their point is, you have to check adjacent building. This is the only thing which you need to. Even now, they allow you for 120. You have to make risk assessment study and get the exception.
Some of the new guidelines formulated based on that experience somewhere.
Some accident. And FBA is not there, by the way.
Of course, that.
One accident in a
airline industry, whenever it happened, one thing.
Yes.
With a
fire, if fire happens, one thing here, if they did some fire here, then again, the way how they are checking the drawing in civil defense becomes different. So,
yeah, it's a learning curve.
yes, correct. So, they are, sometimes you think, they are right. So,
If once happened, it might happen.
yes. So mainly this is in mechanical. Actually, everything is described already in the report which is forwarded to you. I think maybe
It's for today.
yes.
We're going to update this with regards to the comments and issue possibly tomorrow for latest taste.
Again, you can go
Why
to
December 2nd?
Because that's the official.
We're going to use
This is just a
draft. This is the final report that we will be issuing in 2 weeks. And like I say, we've been on this for 3 hours, so we can't go on for all the sections will be, won't be sleeping tonight.
So I think this is the mechanical part, and Danish
Is this your stuff here?
who's going to brief about the electrical part.
Okay. So the electrical section, as Yasser said, it's also described similar way what type of the services we are going to use here, description, the standards, and how the subsections, where it's feeding, and what it's cover, which areas. So first we'll take the mainly the first one is the power services. We have
Can I suggest something, such information with detail? First, it will be sent to us. We will review. So when we do the presentation, we have some information or question rather than, now what we will do, we will review, and then again we need to meet again to give you all. So we are losing kind of, some time.
I mean, you can't do it both ways, and I think even with Yasser explaining the logic of some of the system selections.
No, that's fine, but for electricity, such detail need to be read slowly.
Yes,
But
you will have time.
Yes.
You will have time to review the document, and we can repeat again 100%.
So power distribution, basically we are following here the BS standard, and wherever it's required we are using HTM, and mainly we have here local authority regulation DIVA. It also covers the type of the building, how distribution is required. So here mainly there are 3 types of the distribution: primary, which is through the local authority, power source from DIVA. For that we as DIVA required, we have the substation and the LV room, the sizes what Diva asked based on the number of the transformer we already have highlighted in our planned spaces. And so this primary power source, it will cover to entire building facility. The main panels, it's feeding through the LV panel. This transformer will be having, it has its own LV panel. Our distribution start from the LV up after the HV side. It will be the DY spoke for the supply and installation of the transformer connection and above HV network. And then we have here the secondary power source, which is through the emergency diesel generators. It covers the area where it's required by the local authority, like the DCDs and as per the HTM, wherever the medical planner will highlight, and as well as the DIVA has specified the list of the minimum item that need to be fed from the generator, like all the elevators. It covers all the the fire escape lighting system, all the firefighting system, and the just just before this slide. Okay, so it says like what we have described. Generator, it's covering like 50% of the lighting in the corridor, 25 to 30% of general, 100% of the fire escape lighting, and wherever like medical planner will describe based on the HTM where the equipments fall for the category like 0, 1 to 5. So if require secondary power source, so it will be feeding through the generators.
The UPS is dedicated for each critical equipment, or there is a central UPS?
Now we propose the one centralized UPS system, but there will be it will be in the same room, centralized, but medical and the IT will be having one centralized system, N+1, and the security will be having its own security, and the final server will be having separate UPS. But all are centralized, not for the individual.
What about administration?
It will be through the centralized system, but it will be the N+1 which cover the as per the HTM requirement.
The timing is 1 hour or 2 hours?
We describe here 30 minutes because we already have the like secondary power source and the primary, which is quite reliable. So it's up to the like end user what they want to go. So as now as a general practice, what we do, we kept the 30 minutes autonomy backup for the UPS. So that was I was coming. It's tertiary power source. Here we have the UPS system, which will feed to the all the server room and the equipments, critical equipments, medical equipments, and wherever it's required, like operation theaters and NICU, ICUs, these areas where it's described based on the medical planner requirement. So that will distribute. And there is one more. Like after that, we have IPS also, isolated power system, as per the HTM. Wherever it's required, that we describe here in the reports, like the general area where it's generally going to cover, like operation theaters, ICUs, and the isolation ICUs. Yeah.
This needs the IBS.
So this is overall power distribution network. It requires plant spaces where we describe, like the main room where it's going to come, It is our proposal, and every floor there are sub electrical room, and some floors we need the dedicated distribution floors also. So
for the earthing system.
yeah.
If there's a central one and to connect, for example, we want to change some kind of equipment for the operator, you want to bring new equipment and you want to connect the earthing. How you connect the earth with the central funding connect, or each equipment will have separate?
No, it will be the same like distribution. It has also two types of the earthing system. One is the normal earthing, which will connect your whole building, and one is your clean earth, which is dedicated to your IT and the some area where you cannot connect your equipment to the normal earthing. So it's through the, as you asked, yeah, it is the modular type, like everywhere you will get your part. You can expand and you can decrease, but it's in the network. Everything it's in network, and then it will go to the earth part, and like where you will be earthed to the complete, grounded to the complete system. So earthing, like as we started, so it has two type of the earthings, from what I explained, and there will be a separate lightning protection system that we propose here, the BS approved Faraday cage system, based on the building height and risk assessment report. It will describe the risk level. It will go to the higher risk, so mesh will be the 5x5, and then it will be the grounded through the upper road inside the structural column to the basement or nearest setbacks to the earthquake. So how that was the earthing system and the lightning protection is there. So as per like other distribution power, like we have sent the capacitor bank next to the LV panel, which will be the centralized, not for the individual equipment, and the improvement of the power factor that we kept the 0.8 to 0.95 what DIVA asked minimum. If end user want, like DIVA even suggest that this kind of building you can go up to 0.95. So what we in our report we mentioned, we kept the minimum level. Otherwise, it will increase your capacitance size. So this is the how power distribution. We go to the some picturesque consideration is I already explained the generator, and that was the IPS. Now in the lighting, we describe lighting. We follow the SIPSE healthcare requirement for the lux level and other areas. SIPSE healthcare describe all the areas where how much lux level we need. And here some of the
which countries?
British. And we have mentioned some of the areas like and it can be increased. It is based on when our layout will develop. So we need to get the minimum average lux level within this range. And with the light types are in the building, we distributed back of house of lighting, front of house, which will further distributed like clinical, non-clinical area, and the external facade lighting. There are these sections, different sections, the type of the section for the lighting distribution.
There's any thoughts about the external lighting without OBD or any kind of lighting, the building elevation?
So that will like the based on the specialists, like what facade lighting they will give, and based on their requirement will provide the power distribution for that if it's there. And here For these lighting, we have proposed the intelligent lighting control system. It's also centralized, like it will be through the motion sensors, presence sensor, twilight, daylight sensors, timer controls, and override switches. So with this way we can program wherever how we require the lighting control. Uh, so so this is what how we have. Go to next slide. Okay. So lightings are there, and there is in the lighting we have special lighting, which is emergency and fire exit lighting. So thus we have proposed the central battery system, and this will be designed according to, as Yasser said, it's fire alarm, firefighting fully almost cover in the DCD, Dubai Civil Defense, UAE Civil Defense Code. So that will be designed accordingly, fire alarm and emergency lights, how where it's required. And the system what we propose is the central battery system, because this kind of this space of this building, it's more suitable to that. And there will be we need to see the based on the flight path and the height of the building and the aircraft warning light requirement, whether it's required or not. The NOC will get from the Civil Aviation Authority. And if it's required, then accordingly we'll propose uh, the the aircraft warning lights and numbers based on the height and flight path, as I said. I think lighting protection we already discussed. So how it's protected, and there are energy saving system, and we have now Dubai has its own green building checklist and guidelines. So if that, and plus if any other certification we are doing, so we have proposal, like we mentioned, how we are going to use the energy saving based on the LED lights and lighting controls, solar system, power factor corrections. Uh, so this is what the lighting we have. Yeah, we can go. This is the list of the standard what we are using here for the electrical services. So let's say if you see the DIVA is the major which covered the electrical distribution, and we have for the telephone system. Now for the telephone we are doing the passive network system, like what the room sizes require, the sleeves, and the number of the points, complete passive distribution. And we also have here local authority and Islam guidelines that we are following completely those guidelines. They specified what minimum room size required for the main telephone room, every floor, what will be the minimum room size for the floor telephone room required. So that's what we will do. Can we go to the next one? So this is what structural cabling system. Further, we describe it's all system we propose. It's IP based, so like you will be having the main server room, and it will feed to the further to all the systems through the main distribution form, and every floor there will be a IDF. It will be connected to through the fiber network. We like generally we will do the full backbone network for this. It covers the passive system, and we also take into the consideration the requirement from all other consultants and medical planner, what they ask, what they need, how many number of the points for every area. We describe some of the areas in general practice. So in this every desk will be having what twin sockets, and these offices, conference room, these area uh, will be having these number of the sockets. But further development responses to the new data sheets requirement. And there will be further, as I said, in the passive network, there will be Wi-Fi distribution. There will identify the Wi-Fi points, which will it will cover the Wi-Fi entire buildings. And then, okay, this is the telephone system which we have fire alarm. As I said, it will be completely based on the UE file code. It describes what type of the sensors it's required, which will be even in the for the healthcare areas also. It has described like where you need what type of sensor and what type of control is required. We have proposed the FCC rule. That also based on the UE code, like they want minimum 90 meters per FCC on the ground floor. There will be having our main fire alarm panel, and then it will interface with our other system, and there will be repeater panels, other entrance in the DMS room. In the other, we have voice evacuation. Now, here we propose the combined public address voice evacuation background music system. Like in case of the voice evacuation, it will override your public address system. So it will give the advantage of not to repeating the speaker separate distribution for the public address and voice evacuation separate distribution. This is addressable system, so the main panel can they can find out location of the fault for each and every device location instead of zone location. So this is what for the fire alarm. And then there are low current system. We have all the system that we propose is the IP based system. So we have master clock, centralized clock system, like there will be the clock location and the district location, and it will connect it to also the backbone IP network. And other is the queue management system, like for your main end reception areas, there will be the system. It's also IP based and can be linked to your
archive system.
What kind of
archive system? Like the archives, all the, like, for example, if you took some kind of X-ray or whatever, it will go to the archive system. That can be easy to recall as one central archive. That is
patient records.
Yeah.
Patient records. So like a services.
So in the like your you want to say like all the medical data can go to the centralized system. Like this is this is like how your medical planner and your IT expert will develop in the building services. Like for the MEP, we will provide the provisions wherever what they want for this system. But in our MEP concept report, that system is not described.
Is that something that the operator has an effect on selecting that system? I believe in the IT, not
the IT, but with the assistant of the
server. But I mean,
yes, we will get the system. The system itself will be provided by us.
Yeah.
But how to?
No, it's of course later on.
Yeah.
Now, medical planner and IT.
Yes.
Generally, what happened is medical planner and they give the requirement. Okay, we need these many of data points. Yes, and this will be the total number of the queue impact on your IDF. So
then he will put the software and this.
My question is more towards whether or not these systems need to be central across all of your facilities, or whether or not you have an individual system that.
Like, for example, it should be not like all. Very specific based on the operator or what's required. Like in a specific critical area, you need to have this kind of record which can be recalled easily.
Yeah.
Instead of having and ask. That's operational wise and just for the future. If you want to do some kind of research or anything, you can recall the cases, which is in the central with, of course, permission access.
Yeah.
And then it can be recalled.
But you don't need to share the information across all the
No, it's like what they call it, like a storage.
No, I know that, but it's whether or not the information stored in each hospital needs to be shared across all hospitals.
It depends on the how the system will work, how the safety and the security.
Yeah, because you can also have an on-site data center, but then you can also have a remote data center as backup as well. But it's whether or not they're all independent hospitals, or whether or not the information is shared.
This is one is for each hospital.
There's one operator.
Yes. Yeah, each hospital. If you have same operator for all, if they want to have this system, yes, but mainly it should be for the individual hospital.
So that's the
why
it's individual.
So here in low current there is one more IPTV system. It's also IP based. It's a simple like it will be through the IP network, like centralized PC can be there in the preferred location, maybe in the VM room, and there they can program like what they want to feed through the TV. And there is one system, nurse call system, that here we describe like how in general it's required, like what generally type of the patient to the nurse and the staff to staff interaction require. Mostly it's developed with the input from the medical planner, like they describe, okay, here we need the emergency call, and here we need the normal staff to staff call, patient's call. So based on this also, it's IP based system. It will go through the IP network, and one centralized PC can be there to the main nurse station, and it can share the information.
So is it, your proposal baby tagging system?
Tag system, no, now we have not proposed here staff tag like baby tag, or sometimes it's used for the security purpose also. If somebody will take and it will give the alarm, if it's moving, it will monitor. So right now it's not here in our MEP concept report. It depends as per the end user requirement. In general, there are some hospitals they don't go like that.
Because it's all about babies.
Yeah, that's about the protection. Try the protection system. I have to check what they do. But in any case, is that something that you guys are looking for?
We need to understand the consequence of the cost for such. We will be able to say yes.
Depends
on
what
many models.
Yes, models, yes.
Abduction incidents are rare here, very rare compared to many other countries.
Sure. So it's just, not only for this, sometimes the nurse will. But yes, yeah, listening, when they took it to have feeding, at least critical case, maybe there will be switch. Or if people get the wrong baby, as well.
Basically, it's authorized. It's due there are several types of tags are available. Not even for the babies. You can use for the staff also. If there's some place they need in some duress alarm, they can press and if you have some in the storage, you can some of the equipment like you can keep the tag. If something you don't want to move without your permission, suppose in IVF and some sample, that can be also tagged. Everything will be monitored, and it comes with the one like system. It's run on the it can run on the Wi-Fi also, and it can run on its own medium frequency system where you will place the sensor and it will locate wherever it is there and how it's moving, and it can link also with the security system. Like if something unauthorized movement is there, it can block it. pulls the CCTV towards, it can block the access, and then when it will get, so but it's not here in our concept report. We have not considered that system. And
I was just going to ask, has any of this been, I know you're probably in conversations with operators, right? Have you guys had any conversations?
I mean, I suppose that very simplifies that all these systems go so the waitress call, even the so at the minute we just propose what we propose, unless the operator says change, because I really love this system.
For example, the inpatient TV system, still very high level. We're working with the US, something called Get 12. Get 12.
Get 12. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so they have some. Well, it's most of them, their TV will be the smart TV. So, but that's a later stage. And it's integrated with the medical record system. So, the patient they to call a doctor into the TV.
Yeah.
So, but we can clarify a little bit more on the safety requirements.
We'll get you a process of that. So you just want to know at this stage what will be the cost.
And the last is the security system, which consists of the CCTV and the access control. But in our this scope, it's through the specialized what I understand, and we'll provide all the MEP requirement what they want, like electrical backup.
We don't buy a specialist, and
so
then we can
it will attach.
supply.
Yeah. So it's not there. It's,
It's very good. I'll reach mine.
So is that everything?
yeah, that's I mean, yeah.
Okay. I would imagine we probably haven't got chat back. Maybe we don't need to go back through the architecture.
No, I think
I need just the material. What kind of material?
yes.
And what, how it's what we maintain, how it's what we clean, is it locally available, what kind of, all this is for us.
And we can get that information, but I think just to recap on the exterior, I mean, we've obviously early on we had those three options to select. Chairman select the one option.
Yeah.
The good thing is that we had to sort of take that step back and say, okay, can we fit now that we've had the programming?
I can give you this.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for the most part we feel fairly comfortable. I mean, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but I think we feel comfortable that it's not going to change the exterior too much.
No, I mean,
this
we did toy with the idea of messing with the pure form of the tower, but it seems to be fitting in generally okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in line with the concept. So we did know that it was going to be an intense exercise for about a week, which it was, to try and get everything to fit in. But now I think we're pretty confident that everything is there. We're good to move into the next stage.
And just in the concept, let's say the section. Can you show also how the skin will be? Because this one, for example, on the concept, you show only the core, but the skin doesn't show.
Yeah.
So just in those,
Okay.
As you can see here, it's like it's much slower.
It's like a line. I mean, there's lots of different ways you can do that. There's lots of different types of materials. You can use a different pattern, or you can use like a fine mesh. Yeah, there'll be a number of different options that we can choose.
One thing more, most of the drawings which we've seen, they have show a corner, not the curved edge.
Oh yeah, well that'll be down to the finer detail. On the podium levels. I mean, that may be the second skin that's curved, and what's behind is the square. So the second skin mesh actually forms. They may make the fans a bit more sensible.
So the dark can become light, the color, or only the skin here? This also skin, but it's not clear. The material is also.
So both the shape and the material. I think I see what you're saying. The plans are showing basically a straight 90-degree angle, while this has a curve. So okay. And then you're talking about also the material. How that works. Okay.
Yeah. So the plans need another sort of level of refinement to cross-reference back to this again.
Well, the dropout area of the hotel, I think it's here.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where we would have the entrance. That's where we're talking about having the entrance. And that's the sky bar, isn't it? Level 2. Next to the hotel. No, that's level 2. That's.
Yes.
Yeah, level 2. So yeah, that's the.
There is a terrace.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future.
Great. That's
Now the hotel, you have a terrace?
Yes.
And the bottom of it?
Yeah.
Windows as well?
No, this area. There is a city.
That's it. That's this hotel.
Just an open.
This
But
is
here it's kind of proposal to connect the second. This should be like it's very complicated.
But I think what you're saying is your setback for the hotel is right here, right?
Yes. No, it's finished. No,
Well, that's what we need to check. We need to check if we can, if it's only ground floor.
it's for the main building. Even the
So this is the boundary of the hotel site.
on the
Of the 25 second.
here, this is the ground. I think down.
So this is actually here on this line is the hospital sort of boundary setback. Or sorry, the hotel site. Then the offset is.
The offset is this.
Yes. So the RA line for the hospital goes to here.
No. This is our limit.
Yeah.
But there is a safe part. Or a safe part.
And the hotel also. The hotel also.
Yeah.
So the distance you measured between
Yeah.
7.5.
Well, what is critical is being sure that we can actually do that on the upper floors.
I see today the update rounds.
Yes.
For the hotel? For the
Yes.
hotel.
This is standard all over Dubai.
It's based on the section, maximum. What's the
Actually, it's the quarter of the height.
It's more than 7.
But the maximum is 7.5. Because we applied here 90, so it will be 90. But the maximum is 7.
Like Burj Khalifa, for example.
So that the guidance say quarter, I guess.
I'm from the center of the sector.
And this clarifies.
And هم already here.
Yes.
And this, they mentioned
How we do that?
Just
How many shingles up the floors? How many how both buildings touch?
I'm saying this is satisfied. There is something beyond
Okay.
there's no mechanical.
Yes,
We have
There's a pool there and everything. What's that?
I'm saying
No, here in the roof, by the way, they have water.
Swimming pool. They got a swimming pool right there.
Swimming pool.
Yeah, well, a bridge across there.
Exactly.
We need a
Zip line.
we need a bridge link to the
You put that bridge with the glass.
glass floor.
Just not to make it clear regarding the city. For us, maybe we will say something that we want this one. The last should be comply with the authority, whatever.
Sure.
So don't tell us in the future, you ask.
Yeah.
We are saying our opinion that we wish to connect it like face to face. But
Follow the
authority, you have expert and you are expert with the authority. Take that information, the last person, which is the important person, is the authority.
Sure.
So based on that, develop your process.
I mean, the other option is you always fill with language construction.
For us, we want to connect with all of them. Ground floor, basement, but in the end, what matters is the authority.
Sure.
Yes. All right.
Please record.
In the end.
Hyder will fix everything.
No, I'm sure it will not be a big issue. Maybe, from the beginning and then change it. So, that's what it is.
Okay, thank you. Is anyone still on the line? Varun is still there. Yeah.
Still there?
Thanks, Varun.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From dinner from? In the office.
You're on mute. क्या बोल रहे थे एंड वाला 15 मिनट्स वाज
तो उनको छत से होटल हॉस्पिटल कनेक्ट करना चाह रहे हैं हम पेशेंट को पूल में भेजने के लिए
crazy man they were plant
end में they were like you guys have consultants and you specialists let's figure out if this can happen. It was the last 2 minutes of conversation.